Hello YouTube, it is I, the Rogue Inquisitor, here with a new video after a very long hiatus, and you're all probably wondering, the 5 people who are probably going to see this video are probably wondering why I haven't uploaded anything, or why my uploads have been so sparse as of late. There is a reason for that. Well, there's more than one reason for that, actually. It's a couple of reasons, but I'm going to go through mainly 3 of them. First and foremost, my channel is pretty throttled by YouTube for past opinions and whatnot. I don't get much coverage, mainly because I don't follow the YouTube-approved form of opinions. If you look at any of my videos in the past, you'll see how that can be. Another reason is that I just haven't had much in the way of inspiration, honestly. Which ties back to the first point of, lack of traffic. It's very hard to be motivated to make something when you know that so few people are actually going to see it. And finally, there's one other reason, which that I work full-time now. So, having a full-time job doesn't leave you a whole lot of room to work on projects, especially long-winded, multi-tier video projects that, require hours and hours of work, which, for all you know, is never going to see the light of day in the grand scheme of things. You don't know if anyone's going to watch this. You don't know if anyone's going to respond or even react. You don't know if your hours of work is actually going to be reached by anyone. It just leaves things very... You wonder if it's all worth it in the end. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I've had this YouTube channel since 2007. That's a very long time. It's long enough that most people would have gone through several dozen even YouTube channels since they've started. I've kept this YouTube channel since its inception, and it's gone through a couple different names since I've had it. But one thing that's remained constant is that I'm very strongly opinionated. I don't tend to bend my opinion unless I deem it worthy. And that has, the current state of YouTube is very much not the way it was back then. So my channel is, of course, probably a blacklist of crap that, modern YouTube just wouldn't like. Which means that any content that I upload has very little chance of being received by anyone. I think I have like 350 some subscribers for the over a decade since I started here. It's been well over a decade now. And that lack of growth is very telling. It shows that I've had very little, despite the constant attempts I've had at trying to make videos. A severe lack of growth like that really impedes one's desire to continue. And that's why you've seen so little content from me in the last several months. It's been, either it's been a couple gameplay videos, maybe some updates on my gaming setup, which is hasn't really changed since I last updated it. And yeah, I mean, people say that I could go into opinion pieces and try and, make it so that I do like it's drama content. People are asking, why don't you do drama content? I'm just tired of it. I can't bring myself to care enough about the social media drama that I would actually bother to make, a dozen or so minutes of video content running my mouth about it. Yeah, I have opinions about it, obviously. I could probably say a few things about it, but at the end of the day, my channel is, far too removed from the rest of society to really be noticed by anyone if I did have something to say about it. So I've refrained. I am active on Twitter, but I mean that's Twitter and YouTube are kind of separate, so why stick with YouTube? Why am I still here? Why do I still have this channel? Well, at this point, it's less about making content for me and more about just watching videos that I want that would otherwise be restricted if I didn't have a channel at all. Or rather, account. I suppose I could just completely remove my channel and keep the account, but I don't really want to do that. There's a lot of video content I've kept here that I would still like to have. And there are some videos I do have on my channel that are still getting views, strangely enough. And those videos are actually videos of me playing instruments. So, what do? Do I keep this channel? Try going into making music? Something I'm not very familiar with and not very experienced or even skilled at? Or do I try coming back? Do I try editing video, playing video games for other people's pleasure? I mean, I've stopped live streaming to YouTube entirely because the audience just wasn't there. I've mainly switched over to Twitch, and the audience over there has been, I mean, while receptive, it's extremely low. I think it's probably just me personally. I'm not a show person. I have largely given up creating content in its entirety. And, yeah. I see very little reason for me to continue trying to make content. Despite, like, I have lots of ideas in my mind, things I'd like to do, but between, being blacklisted or shadow banned, presumably, by YouTube for my efforts and having a full-time job, it's becoming less and less of a reality, more and more of a pipe dream, and I gotta make a choice. Do I stick with it, or do I just let it go? This is one of those things where I think the dream just has to die, and I just can't go on making content anymore. It's not that I don't want to, not for lack of wanting to, it's just lack of, like I said, it's many other reasons. And I don't really know who's going to be watching to this point, or if you have watched this video, if you're going to watch this far in, and if you have, I'm grateful that you actually took the time to listen. And if you are listening, I would humbly ask for your opinion in the comment section. Like, do you think I should try again? Like, I'm finding new ways to edit video, which are helping me more and more, but I don't really have the confidence and or patience to do opinion pieces with the likes of many other YouTubers in this community, or specifically the gaming community. Anyway, that's the end of my little thought spill. This is just me blowing air into a microphone, honestly. I didn't create any script for this. I didn't create any, grandiose plan. I just turned on my microphone, started recording, and this is what I'm presenting to you guys. Most of what I make is uncut. I don't do scripts because following scripts is tedious, and I also understand why people pardon me. I also understand why people kind of find that to be, not worth watching. Maybe I just answered one of my own questions there. Anywho, that's enough out of my mouth. I'd like to hear what you guys have to think. So, peace out, have a great day, and have fun.